Yes, major difference tonight. It's Casey and the Sunshine Band here, as opposed to JP and the Groaning Grump. But anyway, he'll get his own back on me. Don't you worry. Everyone watching there, Chris Sutton, wonderful person to work with and a great human being. And it's Arsenal against Newcastle here tonight at the Emirates. And whether it's his way or whose way, we don't know. But certainly Steve Bruce has seen his way to make 8 changes tonight to his Newcastle United side. Only Darlow, Clark and Wilson survived the cult. At Arsenal, they've made 3 changes from the team held here by Crystal Palace. Cedric Suarez comes in, Kieran Tierney is past fit, and Thomas Partey starts for the first time since December the 6th. Tobias not in the squad tonight, neither Maitland-Niles. So it's Arsenal who will kick us off and underway. We've had a temperature plummet over the last hour, I would say. We've had rain as well. That seems to have eased up. Very difficult to see the night sky from where we are. We're fairly low down, about halfway between the halfway line and the right-hand side penalty area at the new style clock end of the ground. Herbert Chapman's famous clock that was put in under his instruction to Highbury just up the road. And we're almost ready to go, but before we get going, of course, David Coote, the referee, will blow his whistle, and the two sets of players from Arsenal in the red and white and Newcastle in the black and white striped shirts will take the knee in the continued battle against racism and all social injustice everywhere. Arsenal going for a 5th clean sheet for the first time in 12 years and a 15th league win in 16 against the Newcastle side. Bereft of ideas recently, shy of confidence, but they could get their season kick-started here with a famous win against Arsenal. They've got a terrible record against them. The two sides then for you: Arsenal with Leno in goal, a back four of Suarez holding Luiz and Tierney, Xhaka and Partey holding in the midfield, Saka, Rowe and Aubameyang, and Lacazette furthest forward for them. Newcastle United, Darlow in goal. Then you've got a back four of Kraft, Lascelles, Clark and Lewis. In the midfield, Almiron, Longstaff, Shelvey and Joel Linton, as Arsenal attacked on the right hand side. I'll break off momentarily. It's headed away by Newcastle United to the edge of the penalty area. Shelvey strokes the ball up to the front two of Wilson and Andy Carroll. Wilson has it now, and it's with a pace on the right hand side, searing pace it is, of Almiron. He got there first and crosses into the box, and it's easy for Bent Leno to make the save. What do you make of all the changes, Karen?
I think it's good. In terms of Newcastle, I mean, I think he's got to do something. I like the fact Carroll's up top. I think he's made a difference. He makes a difference. I think they can get it up so he can hold it up. Wilson were running behind. Almiron and Joelinton get crosses into the box. We saw them in the warm-up doing a little pattern of play with Kraft as well, getting crosses in, and Lewis at left back. So that's their plan today: get the ball out wide and get crosses into the box, which I think will suit given the forwards they have.
Effective Andy Carroll back in the side as well, galvanising for them. He had 9 of their 12 shots in the recent FA Cup defeat here. He's the last player to score a winning goal for Newcastle away against the Gunners, November 2010. And it is a proper old 4-4-2 for Newcastle United. Luis picks it up now with his curly hair, and away then towards this near side. Granit Xhaka has it a yard in from this near touchline. 5 live as we bring you Arsenal against Newcastle exclusively tonight. The shouting you can hear in the background is predominantly from the Newcastle substitutes who are down in front of us, no more than 20 feet away from us here, as John Joe Shelvey has it then, and out wide it goes towards Almiron. Big chance for him today to shine on the right hand side. We know he's gifted, we know he's a technically very good player, but he needs to show more consistency and productivity in the final third, as it's worked out wide towards that left hand side of the Newcastle midfield. They're still in the Arsenal half, and Shelvey, gifted technical player, but again needs to show more consistency for Newcastle United. They need to get their season up and running, and fairly quickly, because teams below them, Karen, are suddenly starting to put it together.
Regardless of teams below them, they just need to do it for their own standards and for the fans. You know, play for the badge, have some intensity, have a go at it, and they do. But it's difficult. Now Arsenal will have to keep moving the ball nice and quick. Don't get involved in a physical battle with Newcastle, because physically they probably look a little bit superior in terms of height and stature. in the team that Steve Bruce has picked. So Arsenal just got to get the ball on the floor, which suits them, move it well, find the pocket spaces. It should be a good game.
Yes, it has been a sorry saga for too long, the Newcastle saga. You know, if you're of an age that has enjoyed going up to St James's Park for a lot of years, and I certainly have always enjoyed the visits to St James's Park over the last 40 years. It's a wonderful place when things are going well. It's a cathedral of football perched on the hill. You can't miss it. It dominates the city. The days of Keegan, the days of Waddle, the days of Rafa, and before that I can remember a wonderful midfield player, Green, and I remember Irvin Nattrass, and I remember John Tudor and Supermac and all those players, and Shearer in his pomp, and to see them where they are at this moment in time, it's a rather sad sight. But anyway, it's Arsenal on the attack down the left hand side, and Xhaka wins a throw in. Not long ago, of course, people were lamenting the Arsenal season 2020-21, but they've certainly perked up in recent weeks, and all seems well at the club again. They'll need to win this though. It's Tierney on the left-hand touchline who pushes it back then towards Xhaka with his short back and sides hairstyle and his red shirt untucked. Arsenal have it out wide then towards Tierney. Whether it's cold, balmy, hot, freezing, Tierney, short sleeve shirt, good lad. Arsenal on the right-hand side, played out wide then towards Saka, who tries a run. What a season he's having. And some say it's his breakthrough season, but I've been privileged, as Karen has, I know, to watch Arsenal's youngsters away in the Europa League for the last couple of seasons. I've covered nearly every game they've had in the Europa League for the last 4 or 5, and to see the kids coming through. Smith Rowe's another one, predominantly used in Europe before he went out on loan. It's wonderful to see this talent coming through.
Yeah, Saka was brilliant in the Europa League. I think he got the most assists for the team that season, not last season, season before. So that competition has really had the benefits for Arsenal Football Club in terms of getting the youngsters through and playing. And Smith Rowe now is the latest one to come through, and he's been playing really well. I like his intelligence. He stands in between lines, in between the defence and the midfield. It's difficult for defenders to pick him up. He's been brave, and I read recently he's not the most confident of people on and off the pitch, so he's doing well to pretend that he's confident at the moment, because when he has his confidence, he's going to absolutely rock it. So again, I think Arsenal will be hoping that he keeps building and building, because he's a talented lad.
Free kick for offside against Saka. Great week of football. If you've enjoyed the Monday Night Club, by the way, in Vision, you can get that tomorrow on the iPlayer. I wasn't asked to take part in Vision. I think it was on your camera before 9 o'clock in the watershed. They thought it was a little bit unsafe.
Don't worry, I've got a face of radio as well.
You're supposed to be paying me a compliment. I thought it was...
No, I'm joining you.
It's going to be away by Leno towards the left-hand side for Arsenal. Aubameyang flicked it on. Risky ball there, really. Could have brought it down because Newcastle have possession back again. Almiron on the right-hand side, the cross is slanted out for a goal kick by Emil Krafth. But here, we're already seeing, Karen, a purposeful Newcastle United side carrying the game to Arsenal in the opening exchanges.
Definitely. Like I said earlier, I watched them at Brentford and they were shocking. Newcastle were abysmal. Like, the passing, the rhythm, the pace, the intensity. This has been a far much better start from them. You can see they've got a pattern of play, they're more aggressive, their speed of play is improved. So they're fighting for the manager and they're fighting for the badge, and I think that's what fans want to see.
Saka for Arsenal, halfway inside his own half, plays the ball 3 yards to his left. Xhaka continues the pace of the move, but his pass dropped short of Aubameyang, and Newcastle can bring it forward again. Almiron already covering a lot of ground down their right hand side, combines here with Krafth. The cross bent in poorly though, and Arsenal will clear it away. And up here then towards Aubameyang on the far side, he's got Lacazette. Saka making a great run forward to the edge of the penalty area. Aubameyang veers wide, checks again, and eventually as the cross comes in, he'd done too much on it, run himself into a too wide an angle, and the cross is easily collected by Carl Darlow, who's been in brilliant form for Newcastle.
I think that's the issue though for Newcastle when they do go and attack. I don't think they've got the legs in midfield to get back, and with the pace of Aubameyang, Saka, if they hit you on the counter, Newcastle are struggling because I just don't think they've got the legs and mobility to get back. But Aubameyang picking that up, just the tame effort on target really, but that's what Newcastle do need to be wary of.
8 minutes gone, and no goals. Newcastle up towards Andy Carroll. The ball bounced just in front of him, but he's aggressive and strong enough to hold off the challenge there of Holding, who was struggling against them. Then nipped in with a good, fierce, low challenge. And Newcastle is saying it was overzealous. There was too much competitiveness about it, and it could have risked injury there to Almiron, who stayed down. But from our point of view, we're low down in the stand, and although Steve Bruce is muttering towards the fourth official, I don't think there was excessive force in that challenge. Maybe his follow through could have caused some problems. Let's have a look at it again, Karen.
I think that's aggressive. I think he's gone through the follow through and he's won the ball, but he's gone with 2 feet. Might have caught him, but no. I think Holding was getting frustrated because him and Carroll were having a good old tussle, and then the ball got moved to Almiron, and he just continued that aggressive nature that he was using against Carroll and gone through an Almiron who's probably not as strong as Andy Carroll.
It's again that question of the follow through, wasn't it? It did catch the Newcastle player, and as long as the referee's consistent with it, David Coote will go on and won't mutter too much about that one. Here's Partey in the midfield for Arsenal. The ball back to Aubameyang, and once again Almiron set sail. Xhaka was there to block though, Granit Xhaka, and in towards Partey, whose Arsenal career at this moment has been restricted just to the 7 games. He's coming back now from a thigh problem that kept him out from early December. So 5 league starts now. Saka comes in from the right hand side. Arsenal halfway inside the Newcastle half, 0-0. Cross from Tierney, blocked there by Sher, who took one in the midriff and has gone down and needs a breather. He's been badly winded and the referee has seen that, and we'll just give him a moment here before Arsenal will be able to take a throw. And Arsenal's form certainly has improved in recent weeks, and they're unbeaten in 5 now. They've won 4 of their last 5. Of course, memories still go back to that horrible run where they lost 4 defeats in a row here, equaling the club record set back in 1959. Wasn't that long ago, was it? Had their worst top flight start since 1974. Things seem rosier now. I mean, at the start of the season they couldn't keep a clean sheet here. They went 8 tournament league games without a clean sheet. That was their worst from the start of the season since 64-65. Much better days now, but how fickle fingers of fortune in football can flick one way or another so very, very quickly. I wouldn't want to say that sentence on 6 pints on a Saturday evening, to be honest. Here's Tierney on the left-hand side, back to Luis. Your overall thoughts so far, Karen?
I think Arsenal haven't really found their rhythm yet. I think you're starting to see them build on. The fullbacks in Tierney and Cedric are really pushing on, and they're being brave in that. But Newcastle defending quite well, and they're looking to get it up to Wilson, get it up to Carroll, and then build off of that. Almiron's looked quite bright on this right hand side, but being left footed he's going to cut in the whole time, so it might be a little bit predictable. But even Stevens, as they say so far.
Alright, as soon as he named the team, I thought Newcastle could get a positive result here.
You said that, didn't you? You felt something. And
it's John Joe Shelby. He's got a wand of a right foot when he wants to have one. The free kick bent out to, or driven out to Carroll on the right hand touchline, headed it forward. He's dropped back now into space to pick it up again. Carroll made himself available, left foot driven ball diagonally into the penalty. Holding Rose having a good season, rewarded with a new contract, and Arsenal can break on that. Here's Smith Rowe, has plenty of pace. Saka has pace to burn out on that right hand side. He's blocked off, he's forced it on to Smith Rowe. Referee's waving the advantage, might pull it back here now. It's gone out of play for a corner anyway, but he's blown his whistle here. He certainly blocked off as he went for the return.
They're just too quick, the kids. You know, Smith Rowe, Saka, just blistering pace, and Longstaff's not catching him. Even Lewis there, he just catches him unintentionally though, with his arm just to try and block him off, and it's a foul. But that's the issue of Newcastle, you know, being attacking, having more attacking players on. You will be exposed to the counter-attack of Arsenal with the young kids with very, very quick-paced players in their side.
And even when they were struggling in the Premier League through the autumn, they had those 6 wins on the spin in the Europa League, and really propelled to those victories by the youngsters. There's a free kick here for Arsenal, and they'll try and bend it into the penalty area now. In it comes, right-footed into the box. Luis was up there, twisted his head, headed the ball out wide. It was bent in by Cedric Suarez, the right-back replacing Bellerin in the side. He's played a major role in that Europa League run as well. And he gets the ball again, a former Southampton player. Arsenal due to go to Southampton the weekend in the Cup if the Saints beat Shrewsbury. And that's a game, by the way, that delayed FA Cup third round match you'll be able to hear tomorrow on 5 Live, 8 o'clock. This is a promising move by Arsenal's Smith Rowe. Saka on the right-hand side of the Newcastle penalty. Drives the shot in far post. Aubameyang has squirted it back across goal. I think he was pushed out in the end by Darla. That's a big opportunity for Arsenal and a bad miss by Aubameyang.
I think he hit the post, Jonathan. Came back out, hit the post, but brilliant play from Smith Rowe. What he's doing, he's roaming out on that right-hand side, and Darlow. He's just gone to clear the ball. The back pass was played back to him, and he's kicked it off his other foot, and it's gone out for a corner.
Just seeing that one again. Saka with the ball across the goal, and Aubameyang went back across goal and hit the far post. It still was a bad miss by him. Goalkeeper didn't save it. He saved the first one from Saka, and Aubameyang has to convert from close range. Off balance, it has to be said, though, Karen. He hit the post.
For his standards, though, 3 yards out on his left foot, should be scoring that. He should be scoring that. That should be 1-0 to Arsenal. And you said it right. The first save from Darlow was brilliant, and then hit the rebound. He has to be scoring that, Aubameyang.
6 goals this season. This is his worst season to now since 2010-2011. Did score against Arsenal though, against Newcastle though in the FA Cup, and signs have been improving, getting his confidence back. Arsenal's corner came to nothing, but here's Smith Rowe, square to Suarez, and then at the heart of the midfield is Thomas Partey, powerfully built Ghanaian international, good player with Atletico Madrid. And they were after him for such a long time, and it's been such a disappointment that he's had his fitness issues here so far. But Arsenal have possession, 0-0 against Newcastle United on 5 Live. Cracking week of football for you here. On Wednesday we have Manchester City against the Villa in the Premier League, and also the Women's Continental Cup quarter-final news of Manchester City against Chelsea. Thursday Liverpool against Burnley in the Premier League, and Friday the FA Cup 4th round. Chorley, who beat Derby in the last round there against Wolverhampton Wanderers, who were the subject to that conversation in the Monday Night Club earlier. Here's Aubameyang, right hand side of the penalty area as Newcastle. So in comes across. There's an offside flag there raised against Lacazette, I think, came from an offside position. 0-0.
Jonathan, I was saying before, when Arsenal had that chance, Smith Rowe, he's been really, really clever, because he's just playing on the outside shoulder of the midfield, and he's kind of edging towards Saka, and what he's trying to do is trying to cause an overload and cause problems there for Jamal Lewis, and they can't cope with him and Saka. He doesn't know what to do. He's 2v1, so it must be something Arteta said, let's go and exploit down that side. Play as a 10, but play more on that right hand side.
A clever player is Smith Rowe. Plenty of time to develop, as well as Karen was saying earlier. Confidence issues when he first came into the side. I think it was a season before last. He went out to Leipzig on loan, didn't he? And then he was at Huddersfield last season on loan. He's only 20 years of age now. He's a Croydon lad from South London. He started 5 of their last 6 games now. England under 19. Emil Smith Rowe. Big future ahead of him. Immediate future is a goal kick to Arsenal away to our right hand side. That's the end. As we look over there, the Black Lives Matter big banner in the ground is in the far right corner. As we look at, that's where the Newcastle fans would normally be making a lot of noise, and they love their trips down to London, the Newcastle fans, and normally spend a weekend down there if it is a weekend game. Newcastle have had great fortune on this ground in recent years. Arsenal on the attack, right hand side. Here's Saka, cross into the penalty area, headed away by Almiron. Andy Carroll dips his head and challenges with Xhaka. Steve Bruce wanted a free kick for that. I'm not too sure why. Xhaka's foot wasn't high. Arsenal have it. Xhaka right-footed ball 3 yards into heart of midfield, and Partey slips it over the top then towards Tierney here. Takes on the fullback, forces a throw. Newcastle have lost their last 8 away Premier League matches against Arsenal since that 1-0 victory in November 2010 when Andy Carroll got the goal. And it is a corner actually. From our angle, difficult to see whether the ball went out of play for a throw or a corner. It is a corner kick to Arsenal then. Saka will take it. Lacazette in the middle. Aubameyang there, Luis is there as well, and Rob Holding. He's been in fine form, Holding. Tries to jog away from his mark. It's taken short. Smith Rowe. Tierney slips it forward. Well read by John Joe Shelby, though he saw the danger of Saka and clears it away to the halfway line. And here's Thomas Partey again. 5 yards in from the left-hand touchline. Square border Xhaka. Xhaka, one more pass away towards Cedric Suarez, who has Aubameyang available. He's gone away to that right-hand touchline. 0-0. Down the line it goes then towards Suarez. He's given it away. Poor ball. Very much the understudy for Bellerin, who's amongst the Arsenal substitutes tonight. Gabriel, fit after his COVID isolation. He's on the bench as well. In comes across. It's deflected up and away, and Aubameyang will see it out for an Arsenal corner. Willian's on the Arsenal bench. Pepe El Neni with it. And Ketia Martinelli fit to be on that substitutes bench for the Arsenal. On the Newcastle bench, Dubrovka, Richie Hayden, and Keogh, Yedlin, Murphy, Hendrick, and the other Longstaff. Younger brother Matty out there in the starting lineup. Corner ball then for Arsenal. And they're huddled around the goalkeeper, and the referee wants a little word with them. All crowded around Carl Darlow. What a good season he's had though, Carl Darlow. And that
been brilliant. Yeah, really like him.
Going to be a corner kick. Eventually it will come swinging in from Bukayo Saka. What a terrific teenage spell he's had at Arsenal. To the far post it goes, looking for David Luiz, cleverly pulling away from his marker. Slipped back by Xhaka. Partey. Now here's Tierney. Well marked Tierney, so he has to go back to the halfway line. It's all Arsenal at the moment. Newcastle an adventurous side, a 4-4-2, bold side picked by Steve Bruce, but they can't get into the game after what was a bright opening couple of minutes for them. Arsenal dominating the play. Here's Thomas Partey. Aubameyang coming deep away from his marker, skipped away from a John Joe Shelby attempted challenge. John Joe Shelby, it's an accidental challenge. He apologised for it. Arsenal out wide towards the right-hand touchline. Suarez got forward. Smith Rowe was over there. And now here's Saka back to Partey, and a big bending shot as he opened his body, and away it goes high and over the bar. You can see what he's trying to do.
Absolutely, the idea was right, the execution was wrong. Just tried to open his hip and bend it into the corner, but just over the top. But you can see why Arsenal paid the money for Partey. It's just quality. Been watching him for the last couple of minutes. He offers such stability out of possession for them and in possession as well. He sees passes, keeps it simple. Newcastle can't get near him at the moment, but Mikel Arteta will be glad that he's back in there, because alongside Xhaka got some stability, and it enables Tierney and Cedric to push forward, because they know they've got two midfielders that can hold and do the job.
Nearly 200 games Atletico in his 8 years there. He's only 27. Thomas Partey. Here's Emile Smith Rowe. Tried to push the ball out wide, wasn't a good ball. And out from South London, one of his nicknames amongst the Arsenal fans, the Croydon De Bruyne. Well, praise indeed if you can ever get close to the standards set over the years by the great Belgian one.
Just seeing how Arsenal just getting into their rhythm, passing movement, and everyone from Newcastle's pretty much back, well in their own half, and that's the issue. They don't have the outlet. The outlet's too deep, and the more confidence Arsenal have in moving the ball.
Note about Smith Rowe was passed me by our producer George. He was a supporter of a South London club. I'm not allowed to say which one it is, but it's not the Palace. Cross towards the far side, headed away out of the penalty area, and now Newcastle can raid down this right hand side with Almiron skipping beyond the party challenge. He's been Newcastle's brightest player so far. Wilson making a good burst in the middle. That opened up a gap, and he can get the pass away towards Andy Carroll, far side of the penalty area. Back it goes then to Almiron, and the shot was bright and purposeful, but just over.
He's looking good tonight, Almiron. He's picked the ball up from deep. And sometimes when you don't have an outlet, this is what you have to do. You have to carry the ball at lengths. He's carried it 40-50 yards. Driving at the heart of the Arsenal back line and just backed off. He picks out a pass to Andy Carroll, who gives it him back because it was on Andy Carroll's weaker foot, sets him up and just has a shot just outside the 18-yard, and then they just saw it comfortably over. But he's up really, really bright, Almiron, on this right-hand side tonight.
Shining, isn't he? He has those bright, shiny days and other days when the light is dimmer. He's subbed 4 times in his last 5 games. Mercurial player, plenty of pace. Now here comes Anit Xhaka. Fitted into the penalty area. Lovely touch off. Oh, it's a handball claimed by Arsenal as the ball's knocked down by Smith Rowe to the run of Lacazette. And that handball appeal was led by the manager down there in the dugout. There's Aubameyang slips it wide to Tierney inside the Newcastle box. Good covering there by Emil Kraft, and then the protests continue down there in the technical area by Mikel Arteta. We haven't seen a replay of it. Here we get a chance now, Karen. What do you think?
I think it's come off his leg first and then hit his arm, so then that's not a handball off Jamal Lewis. It did hit his arm, but the ball's come in and it's hit off his quad and then hit on his arm, so there's nothing he can do about it, so the referee's made a good decision.
Now that's clear in the current interpretation of the law, that if it comes off your body onto your arm from close range, that is not a penalty kick, not a handball. And a corner kick taken here then by Saka into the middle, free header. Ooh, the referee's already blown. Must have been an infringement as Holding made his way into the penalty area there.
There's a foul on the cells there. Mikel Arteta still asking the fourth official why that wasn't a penalty. He goes away shaking his head, but the rules are the rules, and it clearly did hit Jamal Lewis's leg before his hand.
Remarkable that Norwich are doing so well in the Championship when they've let the bulk of their young potential talent from the defence go from last season. Jamal Lewis was there, the left back, of course. Northern Ireland International, doing really well in the Championship. Norwich, lovely, well-run club. Newcastle on the attack. Good to see them doing well, Karen, at the top of that table, Norwich City.
Got a very strong squad. I'm sure Chris spoke about it at length. Still kept a lot of their players. Premier League squad, that potentially.
Smith Rowe here, finding space on the Arsenal left-hand side. Lascelles goes across the medium, pulled it back to Aubameyang, and the shot sails over from Aubameyang. And credit to Andy Carroll, who tracked him and possibly did just enough to stop him getting a clean shot away. But it's a lovely move, a promise by Arsenal down the right-hand side on 5 Live from the BBC. It stays 0-0.
Again, Thomas Partey keying it, plays a lovely switch ball out to Smith Rowe, who's quick, driving down on this left-hand side, cuts in and plays a lovely thready ball back to Aubameyang onto his left foot, and he smashes it over the bar.
Andy Carroll has every right to turn to his midfielders there and say, yeah, there's one thing you applauding me, but where were you?
I think that's the issue, Jonathan, is I do think at times Longstaff can struggle to get back, and in that instance John Joe Shelby was actually attacking, so both your midfielders are out the picture. So credit to Carroll, he's got to do a job for the team.
Carroll's done well there again, turning it wide to Almiron. He's fired up for this one, Andy Carroll. And when he's on his game and fired up, and if Newcastle can provide him with service, he can still be a major threat at this level. 32 years of age now. Scored 5 Premier League goals in the past against Arsenal. He's missed far too much football, of course, over the year. Nearly 200 games he's missed through injury in his career. Here's Partey now for Arsenal, halfway inside the Newcastle half. 0-0, little step over by Smith Rowe. He thought Aubameyang was in behind. It's gone through to the goalkeeper.
Just a lack of communication there. Arsenal now starting to get these chances on the counter-attack. Newcastle have got to be better when they're playing the balls into Wilson. The balls into him and to Carroll haven't been really good enough, and then when it comes back out, there's no midfield and they're getting done. So the quality into them it's got to be better. If I'm a centre forward, I'm fuming with the stuff they've been giving me.
Wilson brings it down now here for Newcastle, just outside the penalty area. Again, crosswise as Almiron made the run in from right to left, but John Joe Shelby was backing up. In comes across into the penalty area. Carroll retrieves, coming away from the box now, 0-0. Longstaff finds that left-hand side. Lewis will try and take on. Saka checks back, then right-footed lobs across high to the edge of the penalty area. Carroll coming away from the box, challenges Aubameyang, who ended up on the ground, and Arsenal will bring it away here with Kieran Tierney as Andy Carroll appeals for something, I don't know what. Xhaka was fouled. The referee says go on, Arsenal have possession after the Almiron challenge left Granit Xhaka on the ground. He's picked himself up now, a tentative touch to the toe, reaches down there again to the right foot, he's okay. Steve Bruce turns and has a look back at his technical area down here. He's asking a question of one of his coaching partners. In comes the Arsenal cross. Lacazette skips away from the challenge of Lascelles, goes down on the ground. Don't think it was a penalty, it's through towards the goalkeeper. 0-0. Just spotted something, by the way, as the we'll have a look at this again here, Karen. This from our little TV monitor in front of us. Was this a penalty? No,
not for me. Not a penalty. What, I could see your mind. That's why I didn't say anything. I could see your mind was ticking.
Temperatures dropped. I know you've got a little bobble hat on there as well. But you've got some. What's that thing on your knees down there? That's some sort of padded thing.
No, it's my heated gilet. I put it on my legs.
Your heated gilet?
Yeah, I put it on my legs now because I was like, I feel it's just my legs that are cold. So I was like, right, I'll put it on my.
So there's no I in team. Where's mine?
George has got one. Producer George.
Oh, right, here we go.
If I'm going down George, he's getting into trouble as well. George has got one.
Sutton, come back quickly. At speed. I'm all on my own here. They're ganging up on me. He comes across to the edge of the penalty area. He looks very comfortable, I'll tell you that anyway. Gone are the sheepskins, we now got heated gilets. In comes the cross to the edge of the 6-yard area and away. For not a corner kick, it's kept in play. No goals, Karen. It's good stuff, isn't it?
It is, but I'm saying neither goalkeeper's done anything though, Jonathan. So I'm a bit like, come on, Arsenal kind of probing, but get in there and be a bit more clinical. And Newcastle just got to give Andy Carroll and Wilson better quality because there is opportunities here for both teams.
On the right-hand side, the cross from Suarez is volleyed away by John Joe Shelby. See John Cross from the mirror down there. He's got a heater here as well.
Game's gone, Jonathan. Game's gone.
Game's gone. I mean, Nick Lowe's, that stalwart BBC Radio Newcastle commentator, brilliant commentator, best I've ever worked with. He'd be turning at this moment. He'd be listening and he'd be squirming.
Kieran Tierney is as well. He's thinking you lot. I'm in shorts and t-shirt here.
That's right. Here he is. Look, short sleeve shirt. In comes across. Proper footballer. Through the penalty area it goes and away towards the far side. Looking round at the Fleet Street Supremos. Henry Winter, he's not got a heater down there. He's tapping away into his computer. Game's gone, Karen. Game's gone. Now it's going to be a throw to Newcastle, far side. Remember at St James's Park we used to commentate, there was a female Newcastle fan. Whenever David Schindler picked up the ball, she used to get very, very, very excited. We used to have to get rid of the effects mic. She got so excited when she had the ball. Producers used to scream at us, get rid of the effects mic. It's disturbing. Now Newcastle have possession with the goalkeeper. It's going to be Carl Darlow, clears it away. Well headed down by Rob Holding. Hasn't he emerged, Rob Holding, as a mature centre-half of Premier League stature? Brilliant.
I think he was always really good. I think the stats before his ACL, whenever he played, they had clean sheets for fun, and he did his ACL and was out for 8-9 months, and then it usually takes a year for you to get back into your rhythm, and he's found it now, and he's got a partner in David Luiz, he's got the experience, and he's really matured, as you said, and Arsenal now finding a clear back four really. Tierney as well, they've all kind of grown, and there's Bayerin's got back into form since his ACL. I know Cedric's playing tonight, but a bit more consistency to their side.
Holding might have been a Newcastle player, they were interested in him, but Arsenal wanted to keep him. They've just rewarded him with a new contract. Dan rightly said he was out with that ACL from December through to the September of last year, wasn't it? Year before. It's a lot of football. It's a free kick here for Arsenal, halfway inside the Newcastle half, right out here down towards the near touchline, which is about 50-60 yards away from us. Xhaka took a free kick with a rolling ball back to Lewis, gets it back again. And we could quite happy for things to go on. Aubameyang into the box and Lacazette has pushed his man, and Arsenal will feel that's unjust. Newcastle will see it is a right decision as Kraft was pushed there by the Arsenal centre forward.
I just think Arsenal, I really enjoy how they play, the pass and the move, and at times it's like chess, you move here, but sometimes that's why I like Smith Rowe. He just picks the ball up and dribbles with it, and Saka, where they do the unpredictable, and I think sometimes I want to see more of that from an Arsenal side, because when you're predictable it's quite easy to defend against at times, the pass and movement. You can't defend against pace, the trickery of Saka, the intelligence of Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, and that's what's really set them apart the last few weeks.
Lacazette teams up with Xhaka. It's a good ball out wide to Aubameyang, and Arsenal purring. They played some good stuff in this first half. 0-0. Tackling the penalty here, left hand side. Aubameyang goes beyond his man, blocked off, but goes to ground far too easily. Cher was just blocking him off. He did nothing wrong there. Not Cher, I beg your pardon. It's Emil Kraft who got the block challenge. There's nothing wrong with the defending. He went down far too easily for me.
No, he gets himself into the penalty area and he gets in a 1v1. He's just chopped it round. He's got a little bit blocked, but he knows himself, Aubameyang. He just gets straight back up. He knows that it was good defending and there was nothing in that.
Looking in the notes on Emil Kraft that I keep over the years in my database of football stats, very boring individual, Karen.
I just saw George laugh at that though, that's why I laughed.
He was a Manchester United fan when he was a kid, but also he was a keen floorball player, and I didn't put in my notes what that was.
What's floorball?
I don't know. He comes from Stockholm. Perhaps someone can help us out with that. I don't know what that is. George he's the font of all information. He's got 5 minutes to find it out for us.
You need to write it in your book then though, Jonathan, so next time you come to it you know what it is.
I can't read my own writing half the time, that's the problem. Every day and every way, getting better and better. Newcastle have possession. Shelby out wide towards Jamal Lewis. Good season for Norwich last season despite their relegation. He manages to get beyond the covering challenge of Partey, who's gone forward down that right hand side now for Arsenal, and traps back into the middle as Newcastle have possession on the edge of their own penalty area. Themselves with no question of a Newcastle back five here today, so it is a more adventurous Newcastle side. Here's Mati Longstaff, the 20-year-old, come through the youth team ranks like his older brother. Dad was a very good ice hockey player in his day. Here's young Matty Longstaff. Back it goes then towards Kieran Clark. Seems to have been around at Newcastle forever and a day, Kieran Clark. Another who's had bad injury problems. In fact, he picked up a knee injury, an ankle injury it was here, last February and was out until September. Arsenal with it. Saka. And now it goes to Partey. Spins it outside of his right foot to Cedric Suarez with peach-coloured boots on the far side. Back it goes to Emil Smith Rowe. And now Rob Holding has it, making a diagonal run, 5, 6, 7 yards, 7 paces. Big defender, gulps up the yardage, finds Xhaka, Granit Xhaka out to Tierney. He's made a good run down the Arsenal left, checks back again from Almiron, right footed cross towards the far stick. The goalkeeper Caldaro comes out, pats it down, and picks it up and will get it away for Newcastle United in his, what colour goalkeeping garb you call that, Karen? Sea green, is it? Sort of a greeny bluey colour. Clears it away over the halfway line. Not very good on the colour of fashion wear, Karen Carney. Won't surprise you that really. I'm not up on my fashion.
I'm not exactly got Kwan, so I'm not here to judge, pal. Don't worry about it.
Here's David Luiz. It's a privilege to first meet Karen on England women duty, and I've been lucky enough to do that now for the last 5-6 years. It's been a great experience, and being out with you in Canada in 2015 and the closeness of the group and the friendliness and the way that you sort of accepted me into the commentary team of your games and on through to France, really special, very special.
No, it's we're only humans. We all just want to make the game better, and you're part of that team as well. How you commentate, and everyone just wants to help each other, promote the game, be the best that it can be. So we was always encouraged to do that and just be good to people.
Yeah, it's a great experience, and 2 semi-finals at World Cup level and the semi-final in the European Championships as well. Like Sampson and Phil Neville did so very, very well. I know we'll be speaking more about Phil at half-time as his reign as England manager comes to an end. And I know Mark will want to talk about that at half-time. And don't forget, after us tonight, Tim S. will be Test Match Special. We'll be looking back at England's first Test win over Sri Lanka in goal. Some Test match that, twisted and turned. England dominant with the ball and then with the bat. Joe Root superb. Lovely to see him making that phone call to the one member of the Barmy Army who was up there on the fort, the Dutch fort overlooking the goal Test match ground, and Joe Root took his time to phone that lad who's spent so long to get over there. Imagine the arduous journey and everything. It's brilliant seeing England captain doing that. Anyway, Newcastle have possession down the left hand side. Blockers trying to take on Partey, who gets it away now, and it's cleared away then by Arsenal out towards the right hand side. Joe Linton didn't really have any chance of getting past Partey, and he hasn't got into the game. Joe Linton on that left side of midfield position. I don't think he's best suited to that position really. Saw him play lots of times when he was in Germany through the middle. Always thought it was a strange fit, him coming to English football. It was never greatly prolific. Darlow has it now for Newcastle United inside his 6-yard area, clears up towards Andy Carroll, but the ball drops short. Xhaka niggling away at Andy Carroll. Got the ball away from him now. Partey slips it to Aubameyang, 5 yards in from the left touchline, attacking the Newcastle penalty area now. Goes to bloody shot towards the far post with a little bit of disguise. Darlow would have seen it late, and it's 2 yards wide of the far post.
It's a good chance, really good chance from Aubameyang. Positive, picking it up on this left hand side, driving in, and Newcastle just back off him. I don't know why you back off and allow Aubameyang to drive in the penalty area, and he sees Darlow, he sees there's a little window, he tries to open his hip up and pass it into the bottom corner. He just didn't get the right execution on it, and it just went wide. But get tight to him, you can't allow a player like that just to keep driving unopposed.
George, our producer here, who gave us the information about the nickname of Smith Rowe earlier, George also goes under the nickname of Gorgeous. He's given us the information now on floorball. I'll pass it on to you in the moment. Emil Kraft hobby when he was a kid. Floor hockey, developed in the 70s in Sweden, and it's played indoors on a flat rubber surface. The sticks and the game balls are made of light plastic. Very popular in Sweden, Finland, Latvia and Czech Republic, etc. But it's been growing rapidly in the UK. 4 divisions now up and running. Well, before COVID, I guess. Men's champions are Finland. World champions of women's are Sweden. There you are.
Good knowledge.
Yeah. It wasn't there on the screen actually, Karen. It's all off the top of my head, really.
That I don't doubt though.
Yeah, Shelby with a big diagonal ball away from Newcastle United towards the right hand side. Callum Wilson, what an astute signing, what a good signing. He's kept Newcastle afloat, hasn't he? Now Shelby, big diagonal towards the far penalty. Carroll got the drove it back through the box. Big thumping volleyed crossed by Andy Carroll. Almiron keeps it in on the Newcastle right. They've got back on top again. I think it's been a decent first half for Newcastle United. Almiron's crossed into the penalty area, headed up there by Holding, and it's sliced away for a corner ball off the right foot of Thomas Partey. Arsenal are appealing for something here. For me, my first view, it cleanly went away for a corner.
Yeah, totally agree. I thought Partey kicked it away. He went out for a corner, but it was a really good opportunity from Andy Carroll there. The ball was pinged into him. He was running round the back post, and he's caught it on the volley, but kind of put it back across the goal again, and no one was there. But that's the type of play that Newcastle need. Get it out there, get the good deliveries into the box, because Arsenal don't want to defend against those balls.
This is what they want, a set piece. Newcastle. Shelby with a poor delivery in. They've waited for that moment to get the ball into Carroll and the likes of Joel Linton and Callum Wilson, who can sniff around for the second ball, and it's really poor. Didn't beat the first man. And player of his ability as well, Shelby. He'll be disappointed with that one. Arsenal get it away to Alex Xhaka. No goals. And we're fast approaching half-time now. Live from the BBC. Brilliant week of football ahead for you. Don't forget, the FA Cup as well. We'll be all over the FA Cup fourth round weekend on the BBC TV, BBC Radio 5, and on the website as well. As Almiron tussles to get away from Newcastle, went down under pressure, rolls over 2 or 3 times. Steve Bruce thought it should have been a free kick. Referee David Coote says go on, and Carroll holds it up centre circle now for Newcastle United. He couldn't hold possession. It was given away by Joel Linton in the centre circle, and now Arsenal look for the left-hand side. Aubameyang to take on his man. Dummy to come inside. And now dips his shoulder, goes wide, crosses, it's deflected, and Darlow has to make the save. Gosh, that was a cruel deflection. Really wicked from a Newcastle point of view, and it's pushed away. Darlow had to make sure it was away for a corner kick, might have been creeping in.
Darlow did really well, because Aubameyang's come in, cut back onto his left foot, he's gone to cross it, and Darlow's anticipated for the cross, and it's took a deflection off Almiron, and he's quickly had to scramble across and just palm it out, because I think that was going in.
With the bend, from the TV replay, it looked as if it was hitting the angle of post and bar, but it had a bend on it, and I think the bend would have carried it in, as Karen was saying. It's a corner kick now to Arsenal on their left-hand side. Saka will take it. Again, penalty box Dodgem's out there on 5 Live. In comes the corner kick. David Luiz got ahead of his man and headed it powerfully wide. Having got ahead of his man, he should have hit the target really with that one.
Well, I think he didn't really anticipate it, because it really just skimmed John Joe Shelby at the near post, and I think he didn't realise it was coming to him, and then quickly had to adjust his head. He's headed it wide, but he was unmarked. That was a big chance. I don't know who was picking him up. No one tracked him, no one went with him, so he was a free unopposed header. That's something Steve Bruce then was going mad about, because you can't stay in the game and then a set play let David Luiz, one of Arsenal's best headers, run free.
He has the 1 goal this season, should have scored more. That came in the Europa win against Rapid Vienna. Half-time comes at the Emirates. Arsenal have been on top. They've had more of the ball. They've created more chances. Newcastle haven't had one shot on goal. But that doesn't tell the whole story about Newcastle, because they have been more adventurous. They started off brightly with Almiron. They just haven't converted that brightness and that effusive start into chances and opportunities on goal. As they go off, it is an improved Newcastle United side though, and it's 0-0 at the break, chappers. Thanks, Mark. Newcastle kick us off and underway then in the second half in the black and white shirts. Famously, of course, black shorts, back socks. Arsenal in the red and white. And Rob Holding has it on the edge of their penalty. I've seen very little of Lacazette in terms of goal threat. And the Lacazette, the Aubameyang of the FA Cup semi-final and FA Cup final, when he rolled in from that left-hand side, brimful of confidence, and scored such crucial goals, isn't there at the moment. In that first half, he had a couple of opportunities to do that. There was a tentative sort of prod. He opened his body and tried to bend it into the far post, but it wasn't there, whereas last season it might have been, or certainly was, I should say. Anyway, here's Saka for Arsenal on the right-hand side now to attack the Newcastle box, and it's cleared away, and Arsenal have it back again with Partey down the line to Cedric Suarez. Checks back under a little bit of pressure from Joel Linton, tracking back Joel Linton on the left hand side of the Newcastle midfield 4. Arsenal with Leno in goal, Suarez holding Luiz and Tierney, then Xhaka and Partey holding midfield, Saka, Smith Rowe, Aubameyang and Lacazette in the middle. They're attacking the Newcastle goal away to our right hand side. The clock end drops here to Lacazette. There's his first effort on goal, and it's pushed away into a dangerous area and swept out by Lascelles, the Newcastle captain.
That's a brilliant save from Darlow, because I'm at an angle where I can see as soon as Lacazette's hit it, there's a few bodies in front of him, and he's hit it low with power, and Darlow saw it quite late. He's got a really good strong hand, and even more impressively, he's palmed it away, not in the path of an Arsenal player. Brilliant save.
I think the words from Mikel Arteta to Alexander Lacazette at half-time would have been get more involved and test the goalkeeper more, and he did that very, very well. Fine save, really good save, low down to his right-hand side.
I think Steve Bruce is agitated because, 2 minutes into the game, Darlow's having to pull off a fantastic save like that. Credit to Arsenal, they've come out a little bit more aggressive. And you're right, get the shots off Darlow, really put him under pressure.
Front of Darlow, Kraft, Lascelles, Clark and Lewis, about 4. Then you've got Almiron, Matty Longstaff, Shelby and Joel Linton on the left hand side of the midfield 4, and Callum Wilson, Andy Carroll up front. And though Arsenal have dominated possession and they've had the better opportunities, just got this sneaky feeling here today that if Newcastle can keep it 0-0 till about 75, if they can win set pieces, Arsenal being very, very careful not to give Newcastle those sort of dangerous set pieces in risky areas. If they can get one, Carroll rises, nods it down, Callum Wilson. You never know what they might get out of this game. Carroll's risen there with Holding behind him. Newcastle have it on the left-hand touch. Joel Linton lobs it down the line. Lewis gives chase. Suarez is there to clear it away. Newcastle throw way to our left-hand side, around about 70 yards to our left-hand side. Will be a throw in to be taken by the Northern Ireland international Jamal Lewis. Luton-born Northern Ireland international, just back from the knock he picked up at the end of December. Hasn't started since mid-December. Lewis, he hesitates over this throw into the penalty area. It goes, little flick away by Bukayo Saka, and that gives Newcastle United a corner. Here is one of those set pieces I was talking about. Now they only have one corner kick in the first half. John Joe Shelby took it. It was poor, didn't beat the first man. Lacazette is that first man in the 6-yard area for Arsenal ahead of the near post. Will this be floated in higher towards the gaggle of centre halves? No, it's again really, really poor. It didn't get higher than thigh level. In fact, it was a diving header away there by Lacazette that blocked the danger. So disappointing. Newcastle have it back on the halfway line. Almiron to the centre back, and it wasn't a centre back, it was Kraft who hooks it forward to the edge of the Arsenal box. They clear it away. Now run from right to left by Partey, and he pushes the ball out. Good ball out here to Aubameyang on the run into the penalty area. Aubameyang shoots. Aubameyang scores. That's what he did in the cup run. That's what he didn't do in the first half. He's done it now, and Arsenal lead here against Newcastle United from a Newcastle corner kick. Arsenal won it, broke, scored 1-0.
You said it exactly right, Jonathan. It came from the Newcastle shocking corner, and you get punished because when everyone's forward, Newcastle don't have the pace to get back, and Aubameyang absolutely punishes them. It's a fantastic individual goal and bit of brilliance from him. Partey again, key in the first half, switches the ball out to him, and Aubameyang's in a 1v1 situation. They back off him stupidly. He cuts in onto his left hand side on his left foot. I think it does take a slight deflection off Kraft, and that's what really takes it away slightly from Darwin. No, it doesn't. It's an actual just direct left-footed drill into the corner.
Arsenal lead. Sorry, Karen, that was Aubameyang back at his best.
Absolutely. I think Darlow was anticipating going across him, and he dived, and instead Aubameyang went to his near post. Brilliant finish, and that'll do the wonders for his confidence now.
1-0 to the Arsenal. An old refrain. Can Newcastle come back? I think there have been signs of more promise about them, but you still got to get the results, and if they lose here, things will start to look troubling in terms of their league position and the teams below them. Jamal Lewis tried to combine there with, on this near side, Joel Linton on the Newcastle left, where I hate to pick on him, Karen, but you played left-hand side, cutting in off the left-hand side. He doesn't look suited to it. He just doesn't look suited. Joel Linton.
No, he's a centre forward. You know, he's not that type of player that you play on the left and cut in it. He's got a trick. No. Has he got the intelligence of a 10? No. So he's not that type of player. He's a centre forward. So I feel for him. He's putting in a shift for the team. It's just not his strength. And see Bruce again, he's saying trying to get all my attacking players on, but sometimes you're not better to play a left winger out there.
Carroll for Newcastle, back to John Joe Shelby, halfway inside the Arsenal half. He spreads the play from right to left to the left-hand touchline. We know Jamal Lewis can get forward. Longstaff, referred to his older brother today. Shelby's just to his right-hand side. Back to Longstaff again, flame-headed. Newcastle United youth team product to the left-hand touchline. Lewis played it into Joel Linton. Went to get a return. He's blocked off. It's a free kick to Newcastle United, about a yard in from the left-hand touchline and halfway inside the Arsenal half. 1-0 to Arsenal, 5 live from the BBC at the start of this huge week of football for you. Tomorrow, Southampton against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup for the right to play Arsenal on Saturday at home in round 4. Wednesday, we've Man City Villa from the Premier League, and here comes a free kick from John Joe Shelby into the box and a twisting header. It was Lascelles who got up there with the header from the edge of the penalty area. Perhaps the fact he had to twist so much on the header cost him power with it, and it just sort of lobbed into the hands of Bernd Leno to make a comfortable save. But that is his first save of the game. Newcastle have possession on the edge of their own penalty area, and well, they say fail to prepare, prepare to fail, and I wish I could tell you the time gone in this second half, but I didn't bring a stopwatch.
8 minutes, I think.
Well done, Karen. Saved me there, saved my bacon. After all these years, what do you think? I haven't got a watch with me. It's going to be a free kick for Newcastle just outside the penalty area. Steve Bruce nods his head ruefully down below us with his padded coat on. No sign of a heated gilet down there, by the way, Steve Bruce. But anyway, he's there with his hands in his pockets. He clears it away deep into Arsenal territory. Holding was under pressure from Callum Wilson, who was caught by the offside flag. So it's going to be a free kick for Arsenal. On Thursday, we have Liverpool-Burnley for you on 5 o'clock. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off. Friday, the FA Cup 4th round, Chorley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Can they do it again, having beaten Derby in round 3? And that's a 7:45 kick-off, by the way, but we're on air before that. And on the Football Daily, by the way, on BBC Sounds, you can hear what Steve Bruce and Mikel Arteta have to say about this one. That's after the game, of course, through to tomorrow. And tomorrow on iPlayer, you can see the Monday Night Club in vision and hear that chat again. Thoroughly enjoyable, always with a bit of banter.
They're on good form tonight, weren't they?
Were. People actually think that we don't like each other. And they're quite right. Here's Lacazette on the right hand side to attack the penalty area. A little deflection through to the edge of the penalty area. Here's Emil Smith Rowe. Back it goes then to Xhaka. Xhaka angles it to the left hand side looking for Tierney, and it's collected and brought away by Almiron. Was a push there by Luis on Andy Carroll. Now, he's dealt with him very well throughout the game, Karen, but why do that? The ball is 3 feet over their head. Carroll's never going to win it. Why push him there?
I think Carroll knew it though as well. I'm sure it wasn't as big of a nudge as it was made out. Andy Carroll knew he wasn't going to get anything from it, so he's like, right, his intelligence, quick, let me draw a foul. So I think it's more cleverness from Andy Carroll than naivety from David Luiz.
Best player I've ever seen do that, centre forward, go early, plant his feet, get a foul. Alan Shearer, he was brilliant at it. I know it's a dark art, and I know you should frown on those sort of things, but he was brilliant at it. Newcastle on the attack, they look for Carroll. Carroll edged it off to Wilson, takes a return, big left foot shot, swings his boot, wide it goes. Again,
that's better because Carroll and Wilson are playing closer together there. So when the ball gets played up to one, they can play intricate football because they're closer together. They've been too spread apart. Try and get them closer together. And actually, I think Carroll's been quite deep. He needs to get closer and higher up if they're going to get back into this game, and it was a good left-footed shot just wide of the post.
There are signs of promise here for Newcastle United, but tough fixtures, of course, lie ahead. Aston Villa away, buoyant this season. Leeds at home, never quite know with them. Everton away, turn the corner they have. Crystal Palace at home. If Zaha's buzzing, you never know. Southampton at home, what a good football team they proved to be again this season. Newcastle United need to stop the rot. Xhaka bends the ball out wide towards that far touchline, and it slips away to where those Newcastle United fans would be standing. Many of them would be in short sleeves, 1 or 2 of them will be bare-chested, even though it's January. It's not the coldest of January nights, but they make great travelling companions, I would think, and they're always vociferous. There is a commentary tale I could tell you, and I'll do it on another day, Karen, not on air, when 3 of us in a commentary booth ended up with no clothes on doing a commentary. It's not a story for now, but it was at the Parc des Princes. Arsenal were playing. And it got very, very hot. And there you are. Here's Arsenal on the attack on the left-hand side with Tierney. Tierney crosses into the far penalty area, and it comes through to the edge of the box. And Lacazette brings under control, rolls it back to, or manages to squeeze it back to Partey. Good ball out to Cedric's right, in cover cross. And that's well dealt with on the edge of the 6-yard area by Kieran Clark. I'll tell you the tale, Arsenal were playing very, very hot. We were in a glass commentary position, took off our shirts, too hot, took off our trousers, too hot. So we stood there, not actually bare naked, we were in our underpants. Suddenly realised the floor of the commentary box was glass as well, everyone could see up.
No.
I know, very embarrassing. Arsenal on the attack here. Saka, interchange of passes with his centre forward. It comes back towards the left-hand side, and Tierney. So a good interchange there between Saka and Lacazette in the centre forward position. Eventually it's lobbed over by Tierney. But pressure on the Newcastle box there.
Yeah, fantastic defending to get the block off, but Saka there playing a nice intricate pass into Lacazette, cuts in. I think it's Kraft that has a block. Just had the shot 12 yards out, right inside the penalty area. That would have been a goal. Credit to him, he's got a block off there, keeping his side in the game.
1-0 to Arsenal. Mikel Arteta will be pleased with some of the passages of their football in the first half, not the finished article. And the game is still too close to call, he knows that. Here's Wilson now for Newcastle, 10 yards outside the Arsenal box, pushes it to the left-hand side. John Linton did well to keep it in, he had to stretch, tried to push it back. Can't fault him for effort, certainly not. Back it goes to Matty Longstaff, and they went out of play for a throw-in. They've stolen a couple of yards, so Jamal Lewis will have to back up 3 or 4 yards on this left-hand side. There was talk about as he lost the dressing room. You can't see that from this Newcastle performance at the moment, can you?
No, they're definitely fighting, trying, they're running harder. The intensity is just there, it's just lacking the quality.
It's a strange remark though in the build-up that he's now going to do it his way, as Chappers was asking us about it in the build-up to the game. I'm going to do it my way now. As Mark was saying, well, whose way was he adhering to beforehand? And I've known Steve a long time. He's a forthright and honest individual. Some of the criticism of him has been personal and not acceptable in that respect, but he knows they're not playing well enough. He knows they're not open enough. They're not carrying the game to opponents. They are here now, down the right-hand side. In comes a cross from the right back, advanced down that far side from us, Emil Kraft, but it's 2-0 the goalkeeper, Ben Leno, in his lime green Arsenal goalkeeping garb, and he rolls it out then to Partey. Easy ball, slip to the left-hand touch. Aubameyang, 1-0 to Arsenal. His goal separates the sides. So it's Emil Smith-Rowe going up through the gears and attacking the Newcastle penalty area. He breezes into the box, pulls it back, brilliant goal, 2-0. Bukayo Saka with the task of beating the goalkeeper Carl Darlow, but Darlow had no chance, and all the work was done on another Arsenal counter at speed down that left-hand side, and brilliance from Emil Smith-Rowe.
Again, it's the same story. Newcastle playing football, get the ball out wide, do well, get a cross in. Cross was poor. They get it Arsenal, and they go, right, this is where we change gear. We know Newcastle are out of shape. Get it out to the main man Smith-Rowe. He just glided past the Newcastle defence there, cuts in, and it's about composure, and he gets to the byline and cuts it back to Saka, who's unmarked, and just taps it in to make it 2-0. But the 2 young kids, Smith-Rowe, brilliant, and Saka, who's been Arsenal's best player this season, punishes Newcastle, and that's it, that's game over now. Lascelles was left by Smith-Rowe. He was just brilliant, he's just so good, the young kid.
Spoken to him recently about the importance of playing with his fellow youth team products, and I asked Eddie Nketiah about it as well previously, and they've known each other for so long, they've come through the ranks, and they instinctively know where their buddies are going to be, and it was a lovely run by Emil Smith-Rowe. He really is coming into his own now.
It's the same with Maitland-Niles. I watched him play. Smith-Rowe played left wing, and Maitland-Niles played left back, and you can see they all know each other, all their movements, their patterns. You're right, because they played together for so long. In that instance, it was perfect. Smith-Rowe really brave, bold, and that's what I was talking about in the first half. You can pass all you want, but it's your individual bit of brilliance there, the dribbling, getting past the player, having a little trick, and that's what Smith-Rowe's got. That's what Saka has. and that's why they're winning games, because their individual players now, their young players, are stepping up and shining.
And this now at 2-0 for Arsenal will be a real test of what Newcastle have in the locker, and whether or not they will continue to scrap for their manager, what spirit they have, because if they concede a third in the next 3 or 4 minutes, it could get messy for them.
The thing is, Jonathan, you're only as good as your players, and the 2 goals that they conceded was when they had the ball. They're more vulnerable in possession, because once they give it away or that attack breaks down, Arsenal punished them twice on 2 occasions.
Xhaka with a shot that was boomed away by Lascelles, but the Arsenal pressure continues. Here's Shelby back to the edge of his own penalty area. Lascelles clears it away. Carroll tried to hold it up. He's done well actually to find Almiron, and slips it beyond holding here. And Wilson now for Newcastle attack the Arsenal penalty area. It's 2 against 2. It's 2 against 4 now. Arsenal got numbers back. Wilson turn, shot. It was blocked. Retrieves the ball between the Arsenal penalty area and their left-hand touchline. Back up the line it goes. Carroll on that right-hand side, wearing 7 and in a right winger's position, pulls it back towards the right-back Kraft. Then via Lascelles it comes to Clark, just inside the Arsenal half, finds the left touchline. Arsenal leading 2-0 on 5 Live from the BBC, and it comes to absolutely nothing. Breaks down on Joel Linton, and feel sorry for him really, because he looks like a fish out of water there, and you wonder whether Newcastle United really need to take him off. Ritchie's on the bench, wide player of course, and they are missing.
Got Murphy as well on there.
Yeah.
Can play out wide. I feel for him because he puts in the shift. He keeps working, but sometimes you're just not, that's not your position. It doesn't suit you.
Ruined the sending off of Fraser now, aren't they, against Sheffield United? Daft to get himself booked twice. They've had COVID problems, beset by COVID problems, and it's taking players a lot of time if they have not just been tested positive, but if they have had full COVID, then it's taking a long time for them to get back to fitness as you'd expect. And Newcastle have had these problems, swept through the training camp. Training camp closed down, but you can't keep making excuses. Jamal Lewis has done well. They're under pressure from Saka, but it bounces back the way of the Arsenal man, and then Lewis stabbed out a foot and retrieved it again. And back it goes then from Lascelles to his goalkeeper Carl Darla. 2-0 Arsenal. They're going to make a change here as well. Arsenal any moment now. They're going to bring on El-Neni, I think, who's getting ready to come on away to our left-hand side. Maybe they'll want to protect now with the 4th round of the FA Cup in mind on Saturday.
Probably guessing it with Partey, right? Just hasn't played that much football. Keep building him in, the game's done. He's been really good tonight. Find out shortly. Good
for Arsenal that Aubameyang got the goal as well, because even though he's got his goal scoring pedigree, Aubameyang, he's a man who scored 270 goals in his career. He has been shy of confidence. Here's Xhaka, who's I think been the best midfield player out there, along with Partey. Xhaka's had a really good game. Aubameyang into the penalty, and Thierry with a cross, low and flashing, and Lacazette slid in and couldn't make contact, and Newcastle breathe again. Karen Carney.
Should have been 3-0. Brilliant fizzed in ball from Kieran Tierney. Just drilled it across, now Arsenal on the attack again.
Saka with a cross to the far post, header from Lacazette, brilliantly blocked by Carl Darlow, who came to Newcastle's rescue then. Newcastle heads have gone down. Danger signs are flashing. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0.
Should have been again another goal. Brilliant ball in from Saka. Cuts in, and then there's 2 players. There's Lacazette and Aubameyang, but Lacazette gets there, heads it down, and Darlow makes himself really big, Schmeichel-esque, and saves it. Again, Newcastle they've gone, the confidence has gone, they've given everything in that. This 11 have given everything. There has to be a change at some point, because their belief has gone now.
Partey has gone off, and he has been replaced by El-Neni. They got a good hour out of him. Arsenal on the attack now from the short tap corner. In comes the ball bending into the penalty area. Well defended by Callum Wilson. And then his first touch is to nudge it to Granit Xhaka. And then he retreating into his own penalty area. The Egyptian international with the fluorescent orange boots. Holding tucks it back then to Ben Lena, who will clear it away. Newcastle about to make a substitution as well. You mentioned Murphy, and he's going to come on for Newcastle United any moment now as they trail by 2 goals to 0. Jacob Murphy's going to come on. He's come off the bench in the last 3 games from England under 21. Holding for Arsenal to the halfway line as Cedric Suarez coming in off the line. A little bit of pressure on him by Joel Linton, and Arsenal went in command. But it took them until the second half to get going. Here's David Luiz. Pumps the ball out wide to the left hand side. Tierney's gone down that side. Ball dropped in a little bit too short for him, and then there's a snapshot from range by the Celtic player that bounces awkwardly, that bounces well wide, and here comes the Newcastle United substitution, and it's going to be Andy Carroll who goes off to be replaced by Murphy. A little glance towards his manager, and off he comes Andy Carroll. Now whether or not they didn't think he could last the 90 minutes, but a little noticeable shake of the head there as he takes his place in the seats below us. On comes Murphy.
Joe Linton's gone now up top. Almiron's moved on to the left, and Jacob Murphy's now moved on to the right.
But he did carry the threat, didn't he, Carroll?
I think he brought more to the game than Wilson. I think obviously Wilson's better when he's running in spaces and balls are played over the top, but I thought Carroll fought hard. He might be short on minutes, match minutes, and might have been starting to feel something, who knows, but a change was needed. But I'm surprised that Carroll did go off, because he's been probably the most attacking player for Newcastle with Almiron today.
Bombing on 50 minutes, Saka on 60. Arsenal have the 2-0 lead. And Rob Holding, who's been excellent again, turns away from Joel Linton. El Neni stabs the ball with his outside of his left foot to Xhaka. Centre circle, spins back to El Neni again. 2-0 on 5-9 to Arsenal. And then he nudges it to Xhaka, who opens it up with a bobbling ball through to Rob Holding and back to David Luiz inside his own half. Arsenal pedestrian at the moment, no movement out front. Holding ambles to the halfway line. This side puts the ball forward down the right hand side to Saka, rolls inside Lewis, beginning to really buzz now, and cause the Northern Ireland fullback some problems. Rolls it to Aubameyang, attacking the left hand side of the penalty area on the outside there of the Newcastle right back Emil Kraft. He still gets the cross in though, and out comes Darlow to make the save. Arsenal 66% possession, 14 shots, 5 on target, lead 2-0. Murphy with a run to the edge of the Arsenal box, poor ball through though, didn't lift his head. Luiz blocks it, and Emil Smith-Rowe has plenty of time and space here. He's already covered 20 yards inside the Newcastle half. Newcastle look leaden-footed, they're backed right into their penalty area. Lacazette lays it off to Saka, and as he bends it left-footed, it goes wide. But look at those Newcastle players, Karen. Slumped, shoulders, heads down, blowing hard, and they were slow to get back into defensive positions there. They've got problems now.
I do. I've said to you for the whole game I worry about them in terms of mobility getting back, and as soon as Arsenal win the ball back when they've attacked the numbers, Newcastle, you just think, oh, it's going to be another goal. You know, if it's only for Arsenal's probably lack of clinicalness to their game tonight, it's only at 2-0, but you just fear for Newcastle. Just can't get back, they can't recover, there's no pace in the team.
Steve Bruce has said in the week, you know, there's been an agenda from certain people anti him being Newcastle manager right from the start. I think there is an element of that, but he's been around football long enough to know it is a results business. The whole takeover business hasn't helped him, that's for sure. The way the club has been steered through some tough times in recent years by the owner hasn't helped him either, or the football club, or the supporters. And all those problems need to be put behind them. They just need results now. As a cross comes in from Tierney, looking for Lacazette. Was he impeded from behind? He's asking the question of the referee. Couldn't get off the ground, and meanwhile Saka's fouled Almiron, who tried to jink away down the left-hand side. Free kick for Newcastle. Lacazette still asking the question, Karen. I don't think that was a penalty.
He's saying he pushed me, you pushed me. There's a bit of argument between him and Clark. Going back to your Steve Bruce comment, he needs players, Jonathan. Like I said, you're only as good as your players, and I feel harsh for saying that about the Newcastle players, but he can only work with what he's got. He's tried tonight, he's tried something different, he's tried to be defensive, he's tried different shapes over the course of his managerial reign. You need players, and he needs investment. He hasn't had that. No,
exactly right. Saka releases Smith Rowe, stayed onside on the right hand side. Aubameyang's in the penalty area, needed a good ball, and Smith Rowe knows he didn't play a good ball, and he puts his hands, laces them behind his fair hair, and looks up to the giant screen where he won't want to see a replay because it was a promising Arsenal move. Good counter again. Newcastle having given the ball away once more high up the pitch, and Arsenal was straight at their throats, but it wasn't a very good ball in. Steve Bruce, his 67th game as Newcastle manager, 22 wins, win success rate of 32.8%. That's his lowest since he was the Sunderland manager. It's his 11th job of his dreams, boyhood fan, and it hasn't worked out the way it would have hoped.
I'm just laughing. It's the curse of the right back. A foul throw from Cedric. It's not Bellerin, it's Cedric.
Yeah, I saw someone had clipped together all the Bellerin foul throws this season, put them to music on social media the other day. It's quite funny. Not from his point of view, but it was quite funny though. Here's El Neni. Here's Luis.
You just don't see the class difference now with Arsenal. Getting the job done, just moving the ball nicely. We worked them hard the first half in terms of possession, and second half now have come out and been ruthless really in the two goals. That's a good sign that you want to see from an Arsenal side, that ruthlessness where the team want to go at you and they leave themselves vulnerable. You take them and you take the opportunity that they give you, and credit to Arsenal, they've done that on 2 occasions.
Leno has the ball at his feet. The one save he's had to make was an easy one from Lascelles. Smith Rowe comes to beat the ball. El Neni, into Lacazette. Good ball off to Smith Rowe. Arsenal knocking it around neatly now to the halfway line. Saka back to Smith Rowe, in towards Cedric Suarez. Back it goes to Holding. Playing around Newcastle United, exasperating Newcastle, draining them of energy and hope, but that's not an Arsenal Arteta type ball from Cedric Suarez. At the end of all of that, got impatient and simply bashed it into the Newcastle half, and Darlow has it now.
Just watching Smith Rowe, his movement is so good. I don't think people we're obviously really blessed to see this live, and I wish people could see how good his movement is. He just peels off the back of defenders and midfielders, and they don't know where he is, and then he's always giving good angles for his teammates, and he's reading what the opposition give you. So if there's a space, he's got the pace to get him behind, or if they give him a little pocket, he goes and stands in it. I think even the last time I saw him, which wasn't so long ago, he's even kicked on another gear now. So really, really impressive player.
Under 17 World Cup winner with England's youngsters, has gone through to the under 20s. He's a future England senior international, that's for sure. Here's El Neni. Not so long ago, people were saying Arsenal, would they be involved in a relegation? That's what Arsenal. You sure? Would they be? Well, here they are now. If they win this, they're 6 points behind Tottenham in 5th. It's such a concertina division. It's such a weird division in this weirdest of seasons. For so many reasons. They lead here by 2-0. Ball played in from the right-hand touchline for Arsenal. Cedric Suarez combining them with Saka. It's a poor clearance away by Clark. Straight back to Arsenal. Suarez gets to the dead ball line. Can he pull back a good cross here? He's pinged it back to Aubameyang, who finishes with a cushioned touch inside the 6-yard area. Newcastle gave it away. So very costly, so horrible for them, and Arsenal absolutely ripped into their box. Arsenal 3, Newcastle United 0.
It's great play from Cedric down this right hand side. Newcastle players are saying the ball had gone out. I think
it's got a VAR.
I think they could be right.
Yeah,
they could. It's really tight.
We're seeing a replay. Suarez is just about to push it back with his right instep, and it's right. It looks as if it's over the line. There might have just been a smidge. The ball's above the line, so it's difficult to tell. It might, if it is in play, it's in play by a millimetre. It has gone to the VAR for a check on this. I think the goal's going to stand from what we're seeing. Peter Banks is the VAR. Have a look at it again, Karen. Poorly given away, wasn't it?
Looks like it has been given. It's hard for us to see the screen. No, it was good play down his right hand side from Cedric. He keeps the ball in, gets to the byline, and he picks out Aubameyang just on the penalty spot. He's got an open goal, unmarked, a tap in, and that's his second of the game. And again, you see his confidence now, but that's the issue with Newcastle. Talk about pace, can't get it done on a given go. Cedric gives it into Saka, gives it in back, and they get exposed.
And also going to make a substitution now. Willian is coming on, and Aubameyang's 2-goal display comes to an end. Willian, whose form since arriving from Chelsea has been checkered, blown hot and cold. He's on that far side. Of late he hasn't been greatly impressive. He's not made that challenge. Newcastle cut to the dead ball, and he comes across. Darting cross from Murphy, I think it was, out there, easily picked up by the goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. They really have no great threat whatsoever, Newcastle United. And they've made a change as well. And I can't quite see who they put on Newcastle, but anyway, Arsenal have possession.
Hendricks, maybe?
Yes, it is in midfield. It is him, from a Burnley player. He's been brought on, Jeff Hendrick there, with his fair hair back in his tied back.
I think they should have started with him, if I'm honest.
Just wonder how much the weekend, or the last game took out. You know, they took out of them Newcastle. You don't know, do you? He's a canny player, isn't he? And a clever player.
And even worse now, Martinelli looks like he's coming on. Player you don't want to defend against if you're Newcastle's back line. Someone that's just going to run at you, be relentless.
Given away there by Joel Linton, an over-ambitious ball out to Murphy. He looks so disconsolate with the quality of his ball. He's had a poor old night, I'm afraid. There's no disguising it. Arsenal have possession. Stroked out by Xhaka to Willian on that left-hand side. Comes in off that left touchline. Tierney's crossed into the box, collected by the goalkeeper. Throughout many commentaries over the last couple of years, I've been banging on about the number of games Willian has played for club and country, and people say to me, why do you keep talking about it? 198 games for club and country since the start of 2017, 2018, 199 now. It's because there are too many games, and at some stage he was bound to drop in fitness and form. He's 32 years of age, and it has come with this lull in the last couple of months as an Arsenal player. They've got a free kick down below us. They're going to bring on Martinelli now.
What I would say about Willian is again, thinking if I was a player, I'm not saying that he's old because he's 32, far from it, but making a move from a club that Chelsea that you've been at for such a long time, when you're probably at the latter end of your career, it is quite a difficult adjustment because the training methods are different, the environment's different, and when you're probably a senior player, that move has got to be right, and I feel like his confidence has been knocked from it. So his quality will shine through, because you don't turn, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but you don't turn a bad player overnight. You just got to find his formula as a senior player, I think, at Arsenal.
There's confirmation of those substitutes then. Willian for Aubameyang, Martinelli for Smith Rowe's just gone off, and Hendrick came on for young Longstaff for Newcastle United. who are 3-0 down. The applause you can hear is from Newcastle substitutes for Smith Rowe as he takes his place in the stand away to our left-hand side. Tierney has kept the ball in, bobbling. The assistant referee was right up with play. Newcastle stood and appealed for a corner. And I'm a long way away from it, but you could tell from Tierney's body language and that the Arsenal defenders that it was still in play. And there are now concerning signs for Steve Bruce and his coaching team down there inside the 6-yard area and working hard. Stephen Agnew and Stephen Clements, all good football people, but we're up against it now. John Linton rolls it back to John Joe Shelvey. Could have had more from him tonight, I feel. John Joe Shelvey.
It's difficult. He was making some really big busting runs in the first half. He's tried to get around. I think sometimes he just needs to get the right partner next to him, whether it's Longstaff, whether it's Hendrick. I think he needs a partner next to him so he knows consistently. You just need to get him on the ball. That's where he's at his best, spraying it, dictating it, being kind of a quarterback.
Never get your ear reaction to this game. Hopefully a little bit later on air, but in Football Daily on BBC Sounds. We'll hear what the managers have to say. Ball played forward there. Good ball by John Joe Shelby into the penalty area, looking for the run of Jeff Hendrick, but it's bounced on through. And Arsenal's long record without conceding a goal continues. Leno has went into this game 365 minutes without conceding a goal. Arsenal came into this with this really good run, 4 clean sheets in a row, the best since September 16. They haven't gone 5 games without conceding since January-February 2009, when they went 6 matches that time without conceding a goal. El Neni has it. We have 6 minutes to go. 3-0 Arsenal's lead. Isn't flattering, is it?
No, it should be more. The thing I'd say to Newcastle now is keep it at 3-0. No more goals, because the confidence is already low. It's the worst thing going back into the training ground, knowing you've conceded. Oh,
it's a foul there just outside the box. There was after the old challenge. There's left Lacazette rolling around in pain. A word from the referee, who's kept his cards in his pocket today. Well done, because there has been a physical aspect to the game. He just got there late, Lascelles. He got there late. It is a free kick, but only that. Just that. And so many times you see any free kick also bringing a card these days. I think that's quite refreshing, Karen.
It is. I think the referee's, you're right, he's made a good decision there. I think for Lascelles, it's just that match fitness, that sharpness. Obviously he's had a long layout, so Lacazette just got there a little bit quicker, and I think the referee is right. Lacazette was just a bit too quick, nothing more. Got a free kick. This is the ideal situation now. Willian's standing over it. There's Xhaka as well, but Arteta's thinking, please have Willian stand over it and score, because this is a real big. We've got Aubameyang confidence. We need Willian now to score this for his confidence.
He scored 3 times in the Europa League this season. Willian takes it. They don't score 4 in the Premier League for the first time this campaign, I think it would be. It was blocked and away. Willian has tracked back on that left-hand side as Arsenal took the throw in. Newcastle United want to send on young Elliot Anderson, the 18-year-old from Whitley Bay, who made his debut here against Arsenal in the FA Cup recently. Had a little run out of 9 minutes there, midfield player. Scottish Youth International, Grandma Scottish, I believe. Seeing cutaway of Aubameyang taking his seat down there in the stand, not so far away from us. Good night's work done from his point of view with the 2 goals. Well crafted goals today, Arsenal. Really well crafted goals.
Yeah, typical Arsenal. And it's good to see Aubameyang with, smiling, happy. He knows he could have had 4. Really, he had 2 good chances in the first half. His first one was really well taken with his left foot, nice powerful shot, sent the keeper the wrong way, given the eyes. And the second one, you want him to be there, the right place, the right time. So Mikel Arteta will be thrilled.
On comes Anderson, off goes Almiron. What happened to him in the game? He started off so brightly.
I just think it's a case of Arsenal and their dominance. You know, what can Almiron do when his team don't have the ball?
El Neni, centre circle, nudges the ball out wide towards us near side, just inside the Newcastle half. Cedric Suarez lobs it on down the line. Lacazette tried to edge it back to Saka. Too far for Willian to get. John Joe Shelby was there. Hendrick pushes the ball out towards the Newcastle left, but it was an errant pass. Tierney collects for Arsenal. Now here's Willian inside the fullback, looks for the surging run of Tierney. A good covering challenge out there though from Newcastle United's point of view from Emil Kraft. And it goes away for a corner. Needed to make the challenge, needed to go to ground, and has done. But Arsenal have a corner kick, and in their current mood, you would bet against them getting a fourth here. Really worrying signs for Newcastle. There has been this boing baggies bounce under Sam Allardyce. Great win for them at Wolves. Brilliant win for Leeds, for Brighton up at Leeds. And feel they probably deserve more points than they've had this season if they can cure their goal scoring problems. Fulham seem to be resurgent. It's going to be a team that drops down into that mix. Will it be Newcastle? Willian with the corner. Luis was coming in powerfully, and I think he shouldered it over the bar actually. He's gone down. He's okay.
I think the worrying thing for Newcastle is that they clearly need players. Is Steve Bruce going to be able to go and get some players? It's a difficult transfer window anyway, given COVID-19 and the situation. But budget-wise, is it there? Who's going to want to come here, and to what style are Newcastle playing with? So it is worrying for Newcastle fans in terms of their form and how they're sliding down the league table, and everyone else around them is actually starting to push on a little bit.
They did get money from Mike Ashley in the summer, 20 million for Wilson, 16 million for Lewis. Fraser came in on a free, Hendrick came in on a free. Newcastle fans would have wanted to see more than that, of course. They need more players in there now, that's for certain, because this concern is furrowing brows and worrying souls. Newcastle United on the end of a 3-0 deficit here. They picked a bolder team. They were more ambitious in the first half. They simply haven't been good enough at the end of the day. As Willian is bowled to the ground, it's going to be a free kick given away by young Murphy on that far side. And it's going to be a free kick that Arsenal will take their time over, one would think. Still think of Jacob Murphy as young Murphy. What is he now? He's 25, isn't he? Coming up 25. Coming up 26, actually, I think he is. Here's Willian, now he's offside. On 5 Live from the BBC, massive week of football for you. Coming up after us tonight, by the way, the Test Match specialty in the pod, looking back to that first Test win of Sri Lanka in Galle. And then you've got Colin Murray coming up at 10:30 tonight. The commentary tomorrow, Southampton against Shrewsbury for a place in the FA Cup fourth round against the Arsenal, as we enter 3 minutes of stoppage time here. And Wednesday, Manchester City against the Villa in the Premier League. Manchester City's women against Chelsea in the Continental Cup quarter-final. Both Karen and I were on duty yesterday watching Chelsea beat Manchester United in the top of the table clash. We were working on different sides then. And Liverpool against Burnley on Thursday, Friday Chorley against Wolves, and Football Daily on BBC Sounds, of course, keeps you up to date every day. Here come Newcastle with the young Anderson out wide towards that right-hand touchline. I was working yesterday at a WSL game for a company that sends a commentary out to the world, and the reaction globally to the WSL is phenomenal, you know, now.
It's brilliant, it's really good to hear. It was a good game yesterday as well. Yeah. Really, really good game.
In comes the throw now into the penalty area. Up goes Tierney to head it away. Oh, it's a poor clearance that. Who did that come off? That's gone out play for a corner kick for Newcastle United, has it? Oh, how's their luck? How's their luck? It bounced down and hit a Newcastle player who was pressurising there on the dead ball line. It was a poor clearance by Martinelli. He's just signalled it back to his teammates. You see a close-up of Aubameyang, I guess his TV's match of the day, man of the match tonight. Took his goals very, very well. Getting back to his best, Aubameyang.
Definitely, just that he could have had 4, like I said. It's just, I think Arteta will be just so pleased that his main man, his captain, his leader, he's putting the ball in the back of the net, and people think it's easy. It's the hardest job in the world to score. So, but quality always comes through and shines, and just needed to go through a little bit of a bad patch to come through it. He's resilient enough anyway.
And only halfway line, pressurised by Anderson, gives it away. Clark smashes it into the Arsenal half, holding, back again it goes, volley forward by Shelby, Wilson brings it down, bounces up, Wilson tentatively, forlornly actually, appeals for handball against El Neni because it wasn't, but therein lies a disturbing body language really, when you're appealing for things like that.
I think, yeah, it's just worrying around I think when the second goal went in, that's when they fell apart, and they knew their confidence. When they were 1-0, they were still in the game. 2-0, they're out of it, but still in the third one, it just was an absolute sucker punch for them.
Picked a team to do a job for him tonight, a bold team, but it hasn't worked for Steve Bruce. Tierney crosses into the middle, Antonelli heads it forward, but it was a difficult twisting head. It goes to play for a goal kick. You can't see this ending happily, can you?
No, I mean, it's all very well, like you said, I'm putting my attacking players on, but if they don't gel, if they don't fit, you know, Joel Linton playing on the left doesn't work. Why play him? But it is worrying.
Yes, he didn't thrive tonight, Joel Linton, and Steve Bruce walks away down there on the touchline, hands deep in his pockets to exchange a fist pump down there with Mikel Arteta. Arsenal, Karen, with just 2 goals from Aubameyang and the goal from Bukayo Saka. Handsome winners here. And after that, first 5-minute start by Newcastle United? There's only ever going to be one team that won this.
Yeah, it was just biding their time, Arsenal. They work in the possession really well the first half and probably tired Newcastle out, and then shifted gears then. When Newcastle went forward, they went, right, we're going to punish you when we win it back. And the 2 goals, the first one and the second one, it was simply because Newcastle were attacking, and that's why Steve Bruce is probably saying to the fans, I can't be expansive, we're not good enough. When we are expansive, we come to teams like Arsenal and we get punished. And 2-0 then it was outside, and 3-0 probably, it should be a lot more for Arsenal, if I'm honest.
I just wonder, chappers, whether or not you're getting messages in there already from Newcastle fans after this.